July 2014. So that summer was my first Riga ride.
Oh my God.
And that was my first Riga ride happened when I was first able to ride jumps again on my bike. So I was able to finally ride jumps again. And then I'd been climbing for the first time in my life. I'd never even climbed, so I wasn't that fit. I was a dirt jump kid who rode downhill bikes, right? So I was starting to get fit. I was starting to get fit kind of. I could hit jumps on the shore. And then Riga invites me on a 2-day Chilcotin trip.
So Marcus Riga, for those that don't know, is a photographer who is ultra fit and just a madman, a savage. He loves the pain. His favorite saying that I love that he says is, "It doesn't have to be fun to be fun." And he's like a cross-country level peddler.
Yeah.
Up and down mountains with a camera pack, ride gnarly trails too, but he's just a savage and he likes to hurt himself and he likes to go for multi-day trips. So
yeah,
you went for a ride with him in the Chilcotins.
I did. And he was funny. I've never been to the Chilcotins before. And like, it was so beautiful. It was awesome. Never been on honestly, if I tried to do an enduro race then, in the fitness level I was at, I was still figuring out what a dropper post was. So I was like, I got a drop. I remember getting a dropper put on my bike for that trip. Because I was just getting back into riding and just starting to pedal, right? So I was like, yeah, I need to get a dropper post because I'm pedaling my bike more now. And I had no idea what I was getting into, man. I was dying, and him and Garrett Buell were laughing at me because I was struggling so much on the climbs. And I remember talking to Riga on the phone the night before. He's like, okay, here's the deal. So we're going to go out here. We're going to go way past Tax Lodge. We're just going to go to our own zone. This is going to be way cooler than anywhere in the Chilcotins you've ever been. I'm like, well, I've never been on the Chilcotins, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty sick, man. He's like, no, this will be sick. He's like, so you'll come pick me up. So we're driving my truck up there. He's telling me what to pack. And he's like, just pack light. Don't bring too much food. Well, he's like, we'll get stuff and we'll sit on the way. And then he's like, but don't pack too much food. We got to keep it light and just pack nice and light. So I brought a sleeping bag, an extra change of clothes, and a bunch of trail mix, energy bars, and stuff that was quick just to throw on the fire. We had salami and sandwiches, right? And we finally get in there. It was dark. We drove way past Tax, just camped in this little field. Actually, I think the time we got there, we started pedaling. Yeah, we had a 4-hour pedal to where we were going to camp out. And I had my sleeping bag and my clothes, and right away I knew it was going to be too heavy for what we were planning. And Riga just starts helping me. He's like, yeah, take that out of your bag, that out of your bag. And literally all I had was a sleeping bag and trail mix and some snacks. It's for 2 days. And I was like, you told me not to bring much food. I didn't know what we were getting into, right? So the first day was a 4-hour ride, and we just camped on a river, right beside a river in a little field on our sleeping bags. It was a sleeping bag, bike, nothing else, a bunch of water. And I was wearing this giant backpack too, this giant camelback I had at the time. It was a huge bladder, so I had enough water for the trip. And I was dying just on that 4-hour ride. And the next ride, Riga had this idea. He's like, well, we were just supposed to do photos for Nolly, but we're going to do a video now. I'm thinking a black and white video to some Black Sabbath. It'll be really cool. This really fun idea. So we did 3 mountain peaks that day, and it turned into it was more than a 12-hour day. And I had never done climbing like that before. And we had no idea where we were. He has a pretty good sense, but we were definitely lost for a few points in the day. We had no phone service, no GPS beacons, no emergency plan. I don't even know if we had a proper first aid kit on us.
You got re-good.
I got totally re-good. And then I remember being so tired. This was 8 hours into the ride. We still had probably at least 4 hours to go. And it was 8 hours into the ride. We started at 7 a.m. And I'm going up this really long climb. I just feel I was going to die from exhaustion. I literally couldn't keep moving my legs. And then Riga he's like, well, you got a coffee mug or something? So I pull out an empty coffee mug. He just fills it with coffee grounds for me. It's there's a river over there. Just stir up with a stick and coffee grounds in the river. And I just slam 4 cups of cold coffee and it give me just enough energy to get up the hill. And then I remember being so exhausted, wanting to die. And we'd already got a ton of photos and video clips that day. So we're just trying to get down. And
probably some of the best photos you've ever had.
Oh, they're amazing. Yeah.
He's an unbelievable photographer.
Yeah, I remember hitting this amazing ribbon, a single track through on those sections of the Chilcotins where you're in the forest, but it's wide open forest with long grass. Yeah. Just flowing. And I'm so tired I can barely steer, but I'm still having the time of my life. And then we get into an opening and the sunset is insane. It's super pink and orange, and Riga's okay, more photos. pulls out the camera and makes us hike the section like 10 times to get some shots. And then by the time we're done with the photos, it's like almost dark and I'm like, dude, where are we? He's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, well, did we bring lights? Like, you didn't tell me to bring like a riding light, because I didn't think we'd be riding at night. And I think we had like one headlamp between 3 dudes, like proper riding headlamp. So we had like Garrett Bueller in the middle because he had that proper headlamp, and the rest of us were like our little camping headlamps. My headlamp had died after the first night, so I had no light at the back, and then we got the front with this little camp light, and we're like trying to get out of there. And we're like in grizzly country, so it's gnarly out there, especially when it's getting dark out. And the last 2 hours of the ride, I think we were in the pitch black. And then we recognized where we were for the last hour, and we made our way back to camp. And I remember like having some more food in a cooler in the back seat of my truck, and then I had some beers in the box. I remember like eating a banana, slamming a beer, and then just passing out in the box of my truck. I didn't even set up my sleeping bag or anything. And I think Bueller did something similar. And then I woke up in the morning and Riga is sleeping up against a tree somewhere. I was like, yeah, this is fun. And then I had to rush back to work that afternoon. It's like that was like early morning, but I had like an afternoon shift at the bike shop in West Van.
Oh my god!
So I had to get back to work, and yeah, it was funny. Like Crankworks a few weeks later, Marcus's wife came up to me. She's like, "I heard you went on your first Riga ride." I was like, "Yep, changed my life. I like adventures now." Yeah,
you survived your first Riga ride.
That was really cool. Yeah.
You done got Riga.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you've done a few of those with him.
Oh, I've done many years of Riga rides.
Yeah.
He's an animal. He's a savage.
Yeah.
Like he goes out there by himself a bunch of times. He goes for like 3, 4, 6 day journeys, and he just hangs out with the grizzly bears.
I definitely underestimated him too, right? Like I was pretty cocky. I was like feeling really fixed. I've been like hitting the gym every day for 6 months. Like I had like built a lot of new muscle up, but I wasn't the right kind of fitness. Like super fit, felt super fit, was eating really healthy. I just felt so strong and healthy. And I'd been like doing my first ever climbs up Mount Frome, you know?
Yeah.
But then I go do that and I'm like, oh man, I'm not even at the same level as him in terms of like bike fitness. I was just getting dropped.
Not many people are.
I was getting destroyed the whole time.
Yeah. Because you look at this guy and he's like a short little Estonian dude, you know?
Yeah.
And then he just goes.
Yeah.
And goes, but takes the best shots.
Oh yeah, it was unreal.
He's an awesome dude.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with him.